There are some very dark theories surrounding Ellen DeGeneres that most people haven't looked into, but we recently did in a previous video, and that brought up a lot of speculation. Claims of cannibalism, and Heche's death, Epstein involvement, Diddy involvement, and even what happened to Twitch were brought up in the comments from that video, so we explored. And you're not gonna believe what we found. First, let's take a look at the footage of the car accident where Heche passed away. And as you can see, she's being carted off, stretchered up, and completely covered, which is typically what happens when a person is no longer with us, when they are no longer alive. As you can see, strapped in, completely covered, but we need to take a close look at what happens when they pull up to the ambulance, because she looks very alive to me. All right, they're approaching right here, and look, opening up those blankets and sitting up in that stretcher. That doesn't look normal. And the comment section blew up in my previous video regarding this, saying that she actually was not from the car accident, that she actually was at a later time. And that's where the investigation began. So that footage raised a lot of concerns and honestly a lot of questions. So we investigated some claims regarding Ellen DeGeneres and how her relationship actually unfolded.
That crash wasn't random. It was a hit to shut her up. And the poison started way before, in her relationship with Ellen. They were the it couple, the lesbian power duo on every cover.
All right, so for people that don't know, they were dating and it was a pretty high profile relationship. But we're hearing that the relationship was far from normal. The claims that we hear from this anonymous report are disgusting and extremely strange. Let's listen into what he has to say right now.
She started small, biting Anne's lip at first, leaving her bruised and bloody. But it made Anne feel wanted, and she insisted to friends it was romantic.
What he's referring to here is Ellen nibbling on Anne, which turns into much more with the next claim.
Then Ellen started pushing Anne to let her drink her blood. Ritual purposes only, she said. But it became uncomfortable for Anne when she started passing out because she'd lost too much blood.
Now, it's worth noting that everything we're hearing here are claims and completely unfounded. But as I mentioned before, much of the community believes that these types of things actually happened. But now you have to hear this, because this person claims that this eating actually went on even after Anne's death.
But even death didn't stop Ellen. Word in the industry, whispers everyone hears but nobody says out loud. Ellen got Anne's body after the crash. Pulled strings, paid people off, whatever it takes. Had her frozen in that big house, carved up slow, ate her over years. Revenge, obsession, who the hell knows? Just eating her ex like takeout. And she didn't keep it to herself.
All right, so pretty bold claims right here, and pretty disgusting as well. So I want to ask you, did Anne Heche die in the accident or from something else afterward? But next we should talk about the relationship between Ellen and Diddy, someone who's recently been in the news for awful activities that he took part in as well, and made so many people have difficult lives because of it. The question that we pose here is, was Ellen a part of all of these crazy Diddy parties? And we have a little clip here that'll give us a little bit of insight on that.
And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes.
That's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
No, I know about them.
She said, I know about them. Now, of course, just because she knew of Diddy parties doesn't mean she went to Diddy parties, and just because she may have went to Diddy parties doesn't make her a killer or a cannibal, but I'm just trying to show all the accusations that revolve around Ellen DeGeneres and how she seems to find herself in some pretty strange situations on a regular basis. Which takes us to her co-star, Twitch. Now, Twitch was someone that the world fell in love with when he was trying out for a dance competition show, was quite the good dancer with a great personality. He was pretty awesome. I actually remember watching the show myself. But then he started working with Ellen DeGeneres on her game show, where he was part of the hosting experience. But unfortunately, as the story goes, he took his own life and struggled with some severe depression. Did Ellen have anything to do with this, or is that just a crazy bold claim? Let's learn more about what happened.
Early on the morning of Tuesday, December 12, Twitch packed a small bag with only a change of clothes and his handgun, slipped out of his house without telling Allison, turned his phone to airplane mode so he couldn't be tracked, and took an Uber to the Oak Tree Inn, a dreary two-story motel in a hacienda-style building on heavily trafficked Ventura Boulevard, just a mile from his house, and paid $107 to reserve a room for a single night. Twitch made his way down to room 249 and let himself in. Allison reported to police that Twitch was missing shortly after he had left the house, noting with particular worry that she couldn't reach him by phone and he had not taken his car with him when he left, two things that she said were very much out of character for him.
Because there were no details about Twitch's death, people just rushed to fill that void. This was at the time when Ellen had built this edifice as the nicest person on television. She would have YouTube stars, and all of a sudden that edifice was crumbling.
The news about Ellen created a wave of online criticism at the time, including some directed at Twitch.
Now, I think it's important that we brought this up because not saying that Twitch was by Ellen, because that's not at all what I'm saying, but at the same time, many claims of Ellen being this monster on the set and someone that's horrible to work for was also being exposed. So did the work-life experience that Twitch had working with Ellen lead him towards that depression and potentially taking his own life? We're just not going to know. Communities don't seem to question Ellen's involvement in many of the topics we discussed here today. Many people think that she's evil and was definitely involved in all of them. Do you agree?
And she didn't keep it to herself. Those dumplings she makes, the ones she hands out at parties or used to give to fans on the show, here, try my special recipe. Yeah, bits of Anne in there. People eating, laughing, thanking her. No clue they're chewing on a dead woman. It's an open secret. People in the know just look away because that's how it works here. Complicit or scared silent. I'm done staying quiet. This hurts like hell to say, but Anne deserves the truth out. The trafficking, the rituals, it's all tied together. Children of the Machine is going to rip it open.
Now, the story goes so much deeper than that, and I share all of the details in this video regarding Ellen DeGeneres. And if you want to go even deeper down the rabbit hole, check out what Mel Gibson had to say regarding the Epstein files.